the Mex Mundo kitchen. Today's recipe is for an Italian dessert, probably one of the most common desserts we ask at an Italian restaurant once we're done eating all that yummy food, and it's the recipe for tiramisu. In US, usually you can get the biscuits as ladyfingers. That's how you can find them in the supermarkets. In Italy, the biscuit would be Savoiardi. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. And the recipe is super simple to make. This is how my mom-in-law makes it, so it's really, really good. You can trust all her recipes. Anything I share that comes from her is super yummy. And so I hope you guys enjoy making this with me, and just have a bit of patience. I'm on really bad allergies. Spring has started here in Switzerland. With all the amount of nature we have here in this beautiful country, I'm often feeling like all woo. So if I look a bit dizzy, it's the allergies. Bear with me. Okay, so the ingredients you need for the cream in your tiramisu are 100 grams of sugar, the equivalent is half a cup, 4 room temperature egg yolks, 750 grams of mascarpone cheese, the equivalent is about 1.5 cups. It's often a bit difficult to make very exact conversions in certain ingredients when you're going from grams to cups, but it is about 1.5. You'll also need the zest of 2 lemons, 4 egg whites, also room temperature, and 2 pinches of salt. For the coffee soak for your biscuits, you're going to need 400 milliliters of coffee, it's 2 cups, 85 grams of sugar, 6 tablespoons is the equivalent, and about half a cup of rum, which is about also 10 tablespoons. And last but not least, the ladyfinger biscuits, or Savoiardi, however you can find them in your shop. Okay, so before we start, there's something you guys need to do, otherwise your recipe is not going to turn out as nice. And the thing is, what you need to do, the sugar I ask for your cream part of your tiramisu, you're going to scoop out 2 tablespoons from the total of the sugar. You're going to need those in another part of the recipe. So before you start, just take out 2 tablespoons from the total sugar for the cream part of the recipe and set those aside. And now what we're going to do is in our mixer, in the bowl, we're going to add our room temperature egg yolks and the sugar, minus the 2 tablespoons I told you guys to take out. And we're going to beat the sugar and the egg yolks until they turn a nice fluffy texture, a pale yellow, and they more or less double in volume. That's what happens because of the room temperature. It's very important that the eggs are room temperature. Once you see that that's happened, you're going to add the zest of your lemons and your mascarpone, and you're going to continue mixing until it's well integrated. You put your bowl aside and you use another bowl, and what we're going to do is we're going to whisk our egg whites with 2 pinches of salt, which is really nothing. You just, whatever you grab with the 2 tips of your fingers, that's it. So you do that twice, and that's your 2 pinches. You're going to mix or whisk until you have soft peaks. Once you've reached the soft peaks, you're going to add the 2 tablespoons of sugar, which I asked you to take out from the first part of the recipe. They're going to go in now. And you continue mixing until you reach firm peaks. Once you have your firm peaks, you set those aside as well, that bowl. And then here comes the third part of the recipe. In another bowl with a hand whisk, you're going to mix in your coffee, your rum, and your sugar. And you're just going to mix by hand until it's more or less fully dissolved to the sugar. You leave that aside, and then we can start with putting together our tiramisu. Okay, so for those of you who haven't seen what tiramisu biscuits look like, or cookies, in US they're called ladyfingers. The top part is covered in a sugar coating and the bottom part is smooth. And when we arrange them to start forming our tiramisu, the sugar part has to go on the top. So that being said, what we're going to do is we're going to mix our ingredients by folding them in. So you grab a bit of your egg white mixture, you add it to the egg yolk mixture, and you're going to very carefully fold it in. Don't mix in violently. Be very careful, do it very softly, and you continue folding in your ingredients until you're done. Once you have your cream ready, what you're going to do is you're going to add a bit of that cream to the bottom of your mold, and then you're going to arrange your cookies, like I said, the sugar side up. You cover your mold with the biscuits, and with a spoon or a small ladle, you're going to pour a bit of coffee liquor over each biscuit. Don't make it swim in the liquor, just a little bit to soak each biscuit. And then you're going to add some of the cream. You smooth it out, And then you start the whole process again. You have to layer biscuits, coffee, liquor, cream. You have to finish your tiramisu with a cream top. One suggestion I have is tiramisu is often nicer if you make it the day before you want to eat it. It's much, much nicer. The biscuits absorb the coffee better, they get softer. The cream changes the flavor. So if you want to make it for dessert, for an event, for a birthday, for whenever you want to use it, just keep that in mind to make it a day before. Once we're done setting our tiramisu together, it has to go into the fridge. Hey everyone, good morning. Like I mentioned earlier in the earlier part of the video, I left my tiramisu in the fridge the whole night, so it was there a lot of hours so that it tastes nicer for when we get to enjoy it later. Today is Easter morning, so we're gonna have this as dessert with our lunch. Usually tiramisu, the traditional way of decorating is just with some cacao powder sprinkled on the top. I did some Easter decorations, a little chick, a rabbit, a butterfly. So you guys can put any type of motif you want on your tiramisu if you want to add a bit more decorations to it. But I hope you enjoyed making this delicious Italian dessert with us. It's so simple and it's really yummy. And even though you're not going to get to watch this video on Easter or whenever you watch it, if you have, I hope you have a really nice Easter, or had a very nice Easter by the time you watch this. Have a nice day.